Here we have the current stock market analysis for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the 4-hour time frame. We're going to take a bit of a longer view here because the stock is trading at some very important levels at the moment. We will need to readjust some of these figures because we have now seen a new high that is forming for this stock. So previously we were looking at highs coming in right around 140, 141.80. But since then, we have now seen share prices break a bit higher into 144.42. So we will be changing this here. So this area marks now the new price high for this stock. And as we can see here, this is an all-time high. If we go back to those prior highs from June 20, coming in at 140.76, this was a very significant level of resistance previously. We did see share prices move all the way down into $90.69 at that point. So the fact that we have managed to bounce from here is a very significant price movement. We've broken through a lot of technical resistance zones. We've also invalidated this longer-term downtrend line that had started to develop. So clearly, this is a very, very substantial and significant price move here. The only question at this point is, where is the top? And it's a bit difficult to make those types of determinations because when you're dealing with this type of activity, you're literally dealing with uncharted territory. These are price zones that have never been seen before. There's really nothing going on out here. We're sort of out in space. There's nothing to be found here in terms of historical support or resistance levels. So there are some techniques that we can use to sort of project a price top here. We have been looking at some Fibonacci extension projections here, which initially gives us a potential resistance zone coming in at roughly 154.30. I'll just mark that in here. So, it needs to be kept in mind that, these are less reliable than some of these other chart signals that we typically watch. This is really just one signal point. And for me personally, I like to see 3 signal points anytime I get into a trade, base real money off of any position. So, this is really just going to be one concept here, one idea. So I really wouldn't recommend basing trades off of these types of projections, but they are useful because they do give us some sense of where the stock could ultimately head, before finding some resistance. So this initial 23.6% Fibonacci projection here does come in just below 155. So that does suggest that share prices have the potential here to move above that 150 level. This is really based off of this prior trending move. So, we still don't know the top yet. So these are really just rough kind of estimates here, but we're just trying to get a sense of, roughly approximately where the stock could start to find some resistance. So if we're going to look to the downside here, which we should also do, you should always have a balanced view. Look at the stock from the positive side and the negative side. If we were to start to see share prices move in the downward direction, one, we have to assume that this current high is the actual price high. But if we do this, we can start to see that this next level of support to the downside can be found right around this $130 area. Specifically, what I'm looking at here would be this prior price low, which was seen during the middle of October, roughly October 10. So there is some historical support in that region. But I do think that a more significant level is likely to develop right around 127.50. So we are going to need to update some of these price levels because, now we have a new price high. And that does sort of redefine this prior trend wave that we're looking at here. So currently, this current top comes in at 144.12. And then to the downside, I'm really going to be looking at 127.50. As a potential area of significance. And the reason that I say this is because, if we sort of redefine this trend wave here, assuming that this current high is the ultimate price high, which we don't know yet, that could change. But if we are looking at this area here, we can see that the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone does come in fairly close contact with the October 15 lows, which came in just above 128. And then in addition to that, what we're seeing is this purple line that's sort of rising right into this orange zone here. So that would be the 100 period exponential moving average that's rising into this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone. So for me, this does mark a potential level of support to the downside. I do think that we would probably start to expect this trend wave to be completed if we did see share prices break below there. So I do think that that would be a fairly significant move. Just to close out the video here, we will quickly look at some indicator readings just to see what sort of signals we can find here. And we do see some short-term trend activity that is a bit extreme in nature. Fortunately, we do still have some positive momentum that's a bit more stable and longer term, as we can see here. I wouldn't really expect this price movement here to last very long. This is a very steep slope, and it's also a short-term indicator reading, momentum reading. However, in addition to that, we also have this negative momentum indicator reading here in the relative strength index. So this does balance out a bit here. It's not a very strongly bullish signal, but it does suggest that there is some negative momentum here. Now, this could be breaking relatively soon. I mean, if we do continue to see this short-term trend wave movement proceed in the upward direction and allow share prices to reach overbought territory, that should be enough to invalidate this downtrend line and then remove that sort of negative momentum from the market. This is a very long-term reading here. This is the momentum reading that goes all the way back to those 140.76 highs. So if we do break above here, this really would signal an end to that prior downtrend, because we're already seeing that type of action in share prices themselves, but we haven't yet seen it in the indicator reading. So if we do see the relative strength index break above this line, that prior downtrend is then fully finished, both in terms of share prices and in terms of the indicator reading. So here's the current stock market update for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.